Hey everyone, it's Dave from Dave's Ohio Barbecue. On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to do a really deep cleaning of a gas grill. Stick around. My grill is a Weber Genesis, but these procedures should work fine on any type of gas grill. I've been using my grill all summer. I've been doing light cleanings here and there, but as you can see, it's time to do a thorough deep cleaning from top to bottom. So before I start these procedures on my grill, I want to tell you a little bit about the tools I use. First of all, spray bottle. I use this for my homemade cleaning solution that I make. Nylon scrub brush, a plastic scraper, some green Scotch-Brite pads, possibly some steel wool, but I use zero steel wool. It's nice and fine. And then also not pictured here, I use a shop vac, some disposable foil pans, a roll of paper towel, and I also have this thick steel wool scrubber that I use for some really stubborn stains. So as my homemade solution goes, I don't like using chemicals where I'm going to be cooking food, so that's why I use this stuff. It's about 1.5 cups of white vinegar, 1.5 cups of water, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, and that's it. The day before I plan to do my deep cleaning, I like to run my grill on high for about 5 or 10 minutes to burn any food particles off the grill grates. Once they're good and hot, I'll scrape them down with my grill brush and then I let them cool. Don't wash them, don't put any chemicals on them. You spend all that time seasoning the grill grates and building up that great non-stick surface. It would totally be a shame just to remove that. So I put the grill grates aside and I start working on the inside of the grill. It's always a good idea to work from top to bottom, that way any food that you scrape off will fall downward and all get caught in the pan at the bottom. I first look at the lid, the inside of the lid. I scrape off any loose bits or any big chunks of creosote or anything that might have grease that might have splattered up there. But besides that, I don't tend to do too much. There's really no need to clean it back to its original shine. Just scrape down any loose stuff that's in jeopardy of falling on your food and call it a day. So there are several parts inside this grill. We've got heat deflectors, we've got burners, we've got flavorizer bars, we've got drip pans, and then we've got the body of the grill itself. I like to start by scraping any of the loose stuff down to the bottom of the grill. If you have a Weber like me, you'll want to leave the flavorizer bars over the burners for this part. This way you don't get all that greasy gunk all over your burners and possibly clog them up worse than they already are clogged. I also go over this area of the shop vac to make sure I get any of the small particles. Next, I take a nylon brush and I loosen up any of the bits in those hard to reach areas like the corners and any of those seams where you can't really get the scraper in there real good. When you're cleaning your burners, you want to make sure that you brush the same direction the slits are going. If you go perpendicular to them, you might push more debris and more grease into the slits, making the burners kind of like burn unevenly. If your burners have round flame holes, then just use a toothpick or a small drill bit to clean them out. Don't spray any cleaners on the burn tubes, it's not worth it. It's a good time also to inspect the burners, make sure that they're not in need of replacement, any big rust marks, any large holes. It may be time to invest in some replacements. If you have a grill that's similar to mine, you're going to have these heat deflectors underneath the burners. So these sheets of metal that are designed to kind of bounce the heat back up. They have little slits in it to let the grease fall through into the catch pan down at the bottom. But as you can tell by mine, they are really gross. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm just going to pull them out, put them aside. I'll work on those in a little bit. I'm going to continue working on the inside of the grill now, scraping and scrubbing any loose stuff all the way down into that bottom tray. Once all the insides are clean, I'll remove that bottom pan, I'll empty it, I'll spray it with cleaner, and wipe it clean. It's porcelain coated, cleans really easy. I also replaced the little aluminum Weber grease pan that hangs underneath the bottom of the tray. It's really handy and it catches any of the real liquidy grease that makes it all the way down to the bottom. So now that the insides are done, it's time to focus on those flavorizer bars and also those heat deflectors that go under the burners. For the flavorizer, you can see they're kind of rusty, but as long as the metal is still solid and doesn't have any holes, not falling apart, they're perfectly fine. You don't need to replace them, they don't need to be shiny and new. But I do want to scrape off any of these loose bits real quick. So what I do is I take one of the big foil pans, take my metal scrub brush, and I'm just going to scrape them down into the pan. That way I catch any of the dust or debris that falls off them, and it makes it a little easier to throw it out. As for the heat deflectors, these things are disgusting. I'm going to take some of my cleaning solution I made earlier, and I'm going to really spritz them down, really get them soaked, let them sit for about 10 minutes, and then just start scrubbing and scrubbing. And then I'm going to scrub some more. And you can tell I'm using this big, thick, like steel wool. It's called a scrub boy, whatever you want to call it, a chore boy. I'm scrubbing it really, really hard, and I'm still not getting it all the way back to perfect. But for my purposes, all the large chunks are off, and this is good enough. If I wanted to really get on there, I'd probably take some new steel wool, take even more cleaner, maybe even something a little stronger than this, and really let them soak for a while and then scrub them real hard. But I'm really not that concerned with getting it back to like the original stainless steel. Finally, I get to work on the outside of the grill. Here's where you need to be kind of careful. I have found on past grills, especially stainless steel ones, if you use these Scotch-Brite, the green Scotch-Brite scrubber pads on the stainless part, it can leave swirl marks, and that's not a good idea. So for all the stainless parts of my grill, what I like to do is I just like to spray them down with cleaner and wipe them with paper towel, kind of be gentle with them. But as for the lid, you can see on my lid around the handles and stuff, I've got all these black, smoke marks, whatever you want to call them. That requires a little bit of effort. So for that, I'm going to use the Scotch pad, spray some cleaner on it. The porcelain doesn't really tend to show any marks from what I've seen. And I'm going to scrub it all down, get it all off. Now, if you are concerned at any point that either the steel wool or the Scotch pad or anything is going to leave marks on your grill, please check in like a really inconspicuous part of your grill, maybe the back of the lid or something. Check it out first, try it out, make sure it doesn't leave any marks. I don't want you messing up your grill just in an effort to clean it. I also take some time to spray some cleaner on the burner knobs, make sure they're all cleaned off, wipe that down, just get it nice and clean. As for the storage area underneath the grill, take the tank out, vacuum, spray it with some cleaner, wipe it down, and you're done. It's not rocket science. So once I'm all done, once I have all these different areas of my grill cleaned, I like to turn the grill on and run it for 10 or 15 minutes just to dry out anything. I don't want to leave any of that spray cleaner that may be in corners or crevices in there. I want to just evaporate it, get this thing nice and dry, let it cool off, put the cover on it, and then it's ready for another year of use. Now, during the year, 3 or 4 times I do a light cleaning where I just scrape everything down and and just wipe the top down really quick, but I don't do the in-depth take everything apart cleaning that I did just now. So I hope this information was useful to you. I know it's a pretty simple thing, cleaning your grill, but I hope I gave you a good step-by-step guide on how to do it. If you like the video, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you get reminders when I put new videos up. Also follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Dave's Ohio Barbecue. And make sure to check back often because I'll have new videos coming out really soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.